Folks, we've just had a terrorist attack up in Washington State. They have taken down 4 substations in the Tacoma and Puget Sound area. Thousands of people are without power right now. And this is not an isolated attack, folks. This is an ongoing coordinated effort to cause chaos in the United States. This is from Putin, folks. Putin for years has been working to infiltrate these right-wing white supremacist organizations. He has infiltrated groups like Atomwaffen and the Base and just on and on and on. They had several people just a few years ago, the DOJ busted a plot to do this very thing. And the scary part is these guys that they got convictions on were not like drinking buddies. This was not like just some hillbillies engaged in vandalism or anything like that. These guys were from all over the country. They were in Ohio, they were in Wisconsin, they were in Texas, they were in Oregon, they were in, just Indiana. They were from all over. And what networked them together was these white supremacist terrorist organizations. And the DOJ is working diligently to try to get this under control. But they're going to need our help, folks. They're going to need our help. If you see something, you need to be saying something, because this attack is no longer theoretical. It is underway. You remember just a few months ago, we had an attack in Moore County, North Carolina. Now we've had attacks up in the Northeast. And just all over the country, we're seeing more and more either plots being broken up or these attacks being carried on. It starts with Putin, folks. Putin has spent years infiltrating these organizations. His intelligence apparatus, in fact, in one of the trials, one of the people that was convicted from the Base, one of the right-wing terrorist organizations, actually said that it is his belief that the leader of the Base was a Russian spy. Not someone recruited, but an actual Russian spy. And it turned out when they did the investigation, that leader actually lives in Russia. That he was operating under a false identity and he actually lives in Russia. Folks, this is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And again, I can't stress to you enough, this is not the end of it. This is the beginning of it. And it will continue to go on. And you have Fox News amplifying Putin's insane threats all of the time and defending his actions and playing down attacks like this in support of Putin. You do. You have Tucker Carlson, who's one of the worst, that just supports Putin at every single turn. And it is a real, real problem, folks. You need to get this to your crazy pawpaw so he can sit down with me and listen to this. Folks, I don't know how to stress this to you enough, but they have been engaging in training. And it's not just here in the United States. It's actually, Putin has found a home in angry white men. The xenophobia, the rhetoric it's easy for them. It's an easy in for them because the Russian government is a very xenophobic, very racist, very hateful government. So it is easy for them to get in with these guys and amplify their own horrific thoughts in their own mind and turn them against us. And that is what's happening here, folks. That is what's happening here. It is not hard to shoot up a substation and take it down. Right now we have tens of thousands of people in Washington State in this horrific cold with no power. And we don't know how long it's going to be before that power's back on. Folks, we have to act on this. Local law enforcement isn't going to do it. As we saw in Moore County with the sheriff in Moore County who went and prayed with the suspect. Local law enforcement is either unwilling or unable to act on this. Local law enforcement in Washington is calling this vandalism. 4 substations A couple of them shot up. They're calling it vandalism. Local law enforcement, as we know in many cases, is infiltrated by these right-wing racist organizations. If not actively participant, they are sympathetic to these people. We can change that. We can put our foot down and demand that this stop now. That local law enforcement be held to greater account. Local law enforcement work with federal law enforcement, which is working very hard, very, very hard to get ahead of this. Because folks, like I've said, this isn't the end. This is the beginning. This is our new future because of Putin. And I hate to say it, folks, but this is just the way it's done. We don't want to have a direct hot war with Russia. We don't. Because if that gets out of hand, millions upon millions upon millions of people die. So we have these proxy wars. Right now, Joe Biden has brilliantly used just a small fraction of our military budget, and he has destroyed half of Russia's military. That's a good thing, folks. But they're not going to sit on their hands. They're attacking us back now. They're utilizing terrorism because they cannot attack us directly. And they're using our own people. They're using your crazy papa's sympathies towards white supremacists against us. So folks, it's time to up our actions. It's time to get more intense ourselves. I need you to make some phone calls, for one. I need you to call the DOJ and their comment line. And I need you to demand that they act on this investigation, that they tie these together, these attacks together, these nationwide attacks on our power grid, that they tie them together, that they investigate the groups that they know are involved. We need to go after our local law enforcement and let them know that political leanings is not an acceptable reason to shrug off terrorist attacks. That the fact that your papa is a Republican and a cop is not reason enough. You know, we're not going to play this game. This is a bridge too far. They're attacking our country now, utilizing as proxies our citizens against us. And it's time to put an end to it. Help, help, help. Pick up the phone. It is a 10-minute part of your day to make 2 phone calls. One to your local representative. Then call your federal representative. Then call the DOJ comment line. And insist that they take action on this. That it's not okay that we have a subsegment of our own government and guys like Mo Brooks and Andy Biggs and, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and the rest of these freaks that are constantly supporting Russia. Well, now they're supporting Russia attacking us. Because, folks, it's not conjecture. We have the intelligence. You know, the leader of the Atomwaffen brags about having the locations of every substation in the country. He brags on having the location of all of our water treatment plants. Well, folks, you think that idiot went out and found them on his own? No, he didn't. He had help from Russia's intelligence organizations. Folks, this is really a proxy war that's come to our backyard. We can no longer just let this be about political differences or, you know, right-wingers want to own the libs. They're attacking us now. Get on that phone. Do what you need to do. Jump in. I mean, hell, folks, hit the subscribe button here. No one else is telling you this. No one else is showing you that yes, the DOJ has been on this. No one else is showing you that, yes, Putin has been doing this. Yes, that our own citizens are intentionally supporting Putin against our own president. How many times have they, said ridiculous things like, oh, Joe Biden's going to get us into a nuclear war and all this other stuff. We need to stop this in Ukraine. We need to, constantly hamstring our own efforts in support of Putin and the Russians. You've seen it. You know it. This can't go on anymore, folks. This cannot be allowed to continue. So please, I am asking you, get involved. Make those phone calls. Hit the subscribe button here. Share this video. Get it out to people. We here at Meidas Media are working our ass off to make sure you know what's going on. Help us out. You're about to see a commercial here. If you can, buy a t-shirt, folks. But more importantly, hit that subscribe button. Hit that alert button. It's free. It helps us get this information to you. We are an online news organization. We have to be able to reach you online, folks. I appreciate you. I love you. This is old Texas Paul out.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.